up, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to create a video just using an iPhone.
Take me away from civilization, where I don't have to bump shoulders with the population.
Before we start, make sure you subscribe to my channels. I have my Enzo Garro channel, which basically does all the tutorials on video and marketing, and I have my Modern Day Touch channel, which basically shows all the videos I create, whether it be real estate or whatever. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it.
Alright guys, so we are creating a cinematic video just using an iPhone. You can create video using just an iPhone and some good software. As long as you edit it right, you can make it look nice and cinematic. Okay, so let's dive right in. I'm going to show you guys how I did it and go through all the steps. Usually what I like to look for is some kind of accident or something that I could take the phone, take it, and whether it be a bush or whether it be a side of a house or something, I'm using some kind of focal point to kind of reveal the scene. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to head over here and start with File, and we are going to click on New, select Project, and we are going to name our file. We're going to choose 1080 and 24 frames per second. Okay, once we name it, we click OK. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to import our media. So select File, go down to Import, and select Media. And I am going to go ahead and select all the files, and then I'll be back once we have all those files in place. Alright, so now that we created all our footage, we put everything in place. Just a recap of what I did here. Once we started the project, okay, I took all my clips, brought them all down to my timeline, just to make sure that I set them all in place. I sorted through my clips, see the best shots that I wanted to use, and I chopped them up. As you can see here, we chopped them all up to the scenes that we want. Okay, after we did all that, we made sure we added our music that we wanted to use, so we kind of get an idea of how we want it to flow. I also added all these little effects, and these little effects, what they do is, if you notice, let's just move this real fast and I'll show you. Okay, so like these little sound effects, kind of make the the video come alive. So yeah, so in the beginning we added a couple birds chirping. Alright, then we added the lawnmower sound so that it starts up, and then we kick it into our little dramatic sound effect music, and that's how we created that. So we created this in all our timeline, and now we have it all set up, and we put everything all in order. So just to show you guys how I did this, okay, so the first thing we did was we put these all in order. Okay, as you can see here, I slowed these all down to about 50%, so you get that slow motion cinematic look. The very last step on these clips that I'm gonna do is to make it cinematic, is I'm gonna add these little black bars. Okay, see the difference already? Alright, so that's the way it looks like. This is the way it looks like normally, and then when we add the cinematic bars, it makes it like more cinematic. Okay, so I took these cinematic bars. What I did here too was I made it so they come in nice and slow, just like that when it begins, and I'll show you how to do that as well. Okay, so here's how we did it. Okay, so we started our transforming clip. As you can see here, when I click on transform, we started right there. So what we did was we did a couple frames forward until we want, and once we get it to like this is how we want it, we click this little marker button, which is up top here. This is going to set a marker on the video. Then we go backwards like this, and all we did was we just took those two black bars and we stretched them outwards, and if you can see here, it creates a little animation. Okay, so now when it comes in, it comes in nice, like it looks like it's animated, and that's how you create those. This right here is where you could use the transform, the crop, distort. I use this a lot, usually when I'm trying to zoom into something or create like a transition. So we're going to extend these all out so it extends to the whole entire clip. It's right about there, and right about there. Yeah, so that looks good. Okay, so let's play this real fast, real quick, just to kind of give you an idea what's going on. Okay, so let me explain the transitions that we use for these. Alright, so the transitions here, so if you notice here, when we get to about here, what it does is it zooms in to the sky that's blue, so that we start this clip with the sky that is spinning around. Okay, right over here we did a speed ramp. And if you notice on this clip, there's a sky in the image, so we did a speed ramp, and then it goes right to that clip where it shows the can. Okay. There's also some special effects here, some little sounds, as you could even when the sky spins. So let me mute this for a second and show you how this. Hold on 1 second. Alright, so if I mute this, you'll hear that when the sky spins, it makes that little whooshing sound. See? So that's how we did that. So right about here, let me put this back on. Okay, when we go right about here, let me show you. Okay, so how do we create this little zooming effect that goes into the next clip? Let me show you right here. I'm going to just copy this and I'm going to bring it over here just to show you. So what we do is we start the clip, we use our arrow buttons. Okay, see, this is how it is right now. I'm going to go here and I'm going to just cancel out all those crops, so it brings it back. So now if we go to the arrow buttons, we click it till we get to the last frame. Here's our first frame. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we'll do like 3 frames. Now we're going to go ahead and click this transform crop button. We're going to click on crop. We're going to select crop here. And then right here we're going to select the marker. We'll click on that. And then we're going to use our arrow buttons. We'll do 1, 2, 3. And then we just crop this like this. Okay, so now when we crop it like this, it goes right to the blue. Now we just click out of there, and what we did was, if you play it back, it does one of those quick, really quick zoom in, and you could transition to something else. That's just one of the things I love doing. So that's how we do that. What else here? So yeah, for the final thing here, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take these, I'm probably going to do some color grading, and to do that, just to get the color grading right. If we go here to the right, select the color grade correction, go right to the clip, and then we go up top here, hit the color grading, and the first thing I always like to do is put up some saturation. So I like to put the saturation up a little bit, and if we click on this view button, when you click on view scopes, this is going to give you a graph and it's going to tell you how your exposure is. So if I want to make it darker, I simply just lower that a little bit, and you always want to stay in between that 0 to 100. And then this is the brightness, so we could do that a little bit, and we can see you play that, see how that looks. Alright, so you see we actually, okay, let me show you what the difference is. Alright, if we take the color grading off, you see that it's kind of like white. It's not as, you know, it's kind of like, it's got that grade, that white. So now we just made the image come more to life. Okay. Same thing with this. I think I'm going to just pull up the saturation a little bit on here. Go to this clip, click on saturation, and let's put it up a little bit. Get that green look. So this is more saturated now. And let's go to exposure. Let's see. Click on histogram. You could arrange these. If we click on waveform, this is what you want. There's chroma, there's luma. You'll use the luma. So now for exposure, you can see this one is, we lower the darkness just a little bit. That gives us that look, okay. We got my clip. I might have already did this one. Let's see. Nope. Alright, so you can tell now. Let me show you something with the skin colors here. Once we raise the saturation a little bit, you can see it changes it just changes the look. Gives it more life. And let's lower just a tiny bit, raise the brightness just a little bit. Okay, so we got that blue sky. Alright, I think that works. And our last clip here, we'll raise the saturation on that. And might want to add a little blur effect to this. So let me see here if we could do that. Here's the focus. Let's see what we could do with this. Alright, so we just added a focus onto this, okay? So we want our focus to be top there, so we could do something like this and give it that faded look there. Also, I just realized, because those bars actually, so what we're gonna have to do with this is we're gonna have to bring this down. So let's bring this clip down more, so right about there. Should do it. We got our focus point, which is right here. So now we got that blur effect. We might be able to do it for this as well. Let's see what that would look like. And let's just put the focus on there. Yeah, looks good. Alright, let's do that. We'll keep the focus on that. Okay, so we're pretty much all set. And I think we could start by playing this. So, oh, for the music as well. So when we add this music down here, we use this, dramatic sound, as you could hear, okay, and then we added all these little whooshes and stuff. Here's what we did over here is we cut it. So we knew we wanted to end the clip with the ending where it goes away. So what we had to do is we had to cut the end of the clip with the beginning of the clip, and we had to somehow blend these in. So I found the right spot. I took the end of the clip. I made sure I aligned the ending so that it ends right here. When the soda can pops, it goes silent. And then what I did was I found the right spot here where they could blend nice and easy, and we blended them. And for blending mode, I always overlap these, and I take the little bar here, and what I do is so that I create this a little kind of like a V shape here, so that it slowly fades out and slowly fades back in. And you just, as long as you're taking the beats and you're putting them kind of together and at the right spot, you're able to kind of blend it nice. And just sometimes I use headphones for this, so I make sure that there's no off beats, but this one seemed to come out all right. So we'll keep that like that, and that's pretty much it. So to recap, just want to recap real fast and let you guys know, to start this project, you're gonna go here, you're gonna click File, you'll click New Project, name your project, make sure it's 24 frames per second and 1080, okay, and then you drag, go to File, import all your media. Once you import your media, it's going to be right here. We then take that media that we want to use, we drag it to our timeline, okay. Once we drag it to our timeline, we drag all our music, we arrange our media how we want it, and our scenes the way how we want to put it together, and then we do those little final transitions in between. We use this little zoom in effect that we create, and we added these bars to make it look cinematic. So that's pretty much it. Okay, so I will try to get some more information, leave more information on this, but I hope this is kind of helpful to let you guys know that you can create video just using the iPhone. It doesn't necessarily have to, you don't have to have an expensive camera. You can use just an iPhone, and this is how we created it. So I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you subscribe to my channels, because I'm going to be dropping all sorts of tutorials like this in the future. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. Take care.
Take me away from civilization, where I don't have to bump shoulders with the population.